You step out of your front door, and the sensory assault begins immediately. The traffic blurs past, the crowds push forward, and the sheer volume of the world demands your attention. Then come the specifics. The glowing chyrons on the 24-hour news networks broadcasting the latest crisis, the endless vibrations of notifications in your pocket, the quiet, constant math you do in the back of your head to navigate shifting economic pressures. We process all of this by operating in a state of low-grade panic. We feel like passengers in a vehicle accelerating down a steep hill, gripping the dashboard, terrified because our hands are nowhere near the steering wheel. So how do you actually insulate yourself from it? Where exactly is the boundary between the chaos happening out there and the peace you need in here? Right now, we're losing a war of attrition. We keep trying to arrange all those external pieces perfectly, hoping that if we can just fix the news, or empty our inbox, or organize our schedules, we will finally feel calm. To see why that strategy fails, look at the winter of 1704 AD, the freezing, muddy forests of the Germanic frontier. This was the edge of the Roman Empire, commanded by Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He was the most powerful man on the planet, yet physically he was frail. He was an aging man prone to chest pains and stomach ulcers, sleeping on a camp cot in the cold. He was currently managing 3 simultaneous disasters. A deadly plague was sweeping through his military camps. The Quadi tribe was actively trying to overrun his borders, and word had just arrived that his most trusted general in the east was leading an armed mutiny to take his throne. His environment was collapsing in real time. Everywhere he looked, he was surrounded by disease, freezing rain, and treason. Yet he didn't break. He didn't panic. He survived the pressure, and the method he used to keep his mind intact under those extreme conditions is the exact same tool that can disarm our modern anxieties today. To survive, Marcus turned to a concept developed by a former slave named Epictetus, the dichotomy of control. It starts by defining the outside, things over which you have zero authority, like the weather, viruses, or other people's opinions. Then there is the inside. This category is tiny, but absolute. You only control your own aims, desires, and opinions. When Marcus received the dispatch that his general had mutinied, he categorized it immediately. The betrayal had already happened. It was an outside event. Trying to wish it away or curse his luck would only cause him to panic. Psychological survival starts the precise second you drop the illusion of controlling the world and turn all of your energy toward controlling how you respond to it. We can see him practicing this. Inside his military tent at the Carnuntum encampment, isolated from the battlefield, he wrote notes to himself. He developed a specific psychological trick. He would take a terrifying scenario and actively strip away the subjective emotions, the anger, the dread, the sense of unfairness. Marcus used the private journals, now known as his meditations, to surgically drill his own mind, documenting the divide between objective facts and the reactive feelings his brain tried to attach to them. He reminded himself of Epictetus's exact rule. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. The mutiny was a fact. His panic over the mutiny was a choice. By removing his emotional judgment, the crisis lost its teeth. A terrifying threat was downgraded into a simple, objective problem that just needed to be solved. This relentless filtering process had one ultimate goal. Marcus Aurelius was trying to construct what he called the inner citadel. He envisioned a mind completely free from violent passions, a psychological fortress where all the noise, the insults, and the chaos of the environment hit a heavy wall and simply bounce off, unable to penetrate the core. When you pull back behind those walls, the physical tension leaves your shoulders. You stop letting the external weather dictate whether it rains inside your own head. Invincibility is a product of the mind itself. By rendering the internal state unconquerable, the actions of external enemies lose their power to do harm. Which brings us back to the subway cars, the endless feeds, and the economic pressures of right now. We cannot stop those things from happening. Marcus Aurelius couldn't order the freezing rain to stop falling on his camps, and you cannot order the modern world to stop being exhausting. But the world cannot force its way into your mind. It cannot make you feel panic or anger or despair unless you explicitly give it permission to do so. The choice to be disturbed remains entirely within your own borders. At any moment, you can step back, close the gates, and return to the silence of the inner citadel.